turn my mute off. Sorry, I'm not used to this yet. I got to turn my mute off every time I forget. So I guess that's where it's going to go. Okay, we'll get started. This is, we're excited about our vision. I don't know if you noticed that or not, but we have a pretty good mission statement. Yeah, it's stolen. We're excited about our mission statement. We're excited about our purpose statement. It's a good purpose statement. It's exactly what we want to look like, and we're excited about our vision statement as well. We do this meeting right here twice a year. We do it right before the discipleship classes take place right now, and then we also do it in January. And we do this for multiple reasons. I'll say number one of the reasons is because we're a monster. I mean, there is a lot of stuff going on in Jefferson Baptist Church. And people go, I don't even understand how Jefferson Baptist churches function. Most likely, you will not leave here understanding what's going on in the dynamics of how Jefferson Baptist functions, because it's so much. But I'm going to try. So I'm going to give it my best shot, to say, well, this is how we function in those kind of things. And then I also want to see where we're at, like behind the scenes. In a church like this, there is money. I mean, it takes money driving ministries. It takes money to travel the world. It takes money for a facility and those kind of things. And money comes in. It comes in very consistently. And you notice we don't talk, obsessive about money, but we do want you to know what's going on. We want you to know where we're at. For what purpose? Just so you know, because you're part of our body that walks with us. I mean, that's the way the church is you walk with us, you're giving in those kind of things. And we want to know, I want you to know where we're at in those things. So just kind of give you a base, just really fast. Staff, elders, that we are elder ruled, pastorally led and elder ruled. And what that means is a person that has the vision, the mission that's pushing things forward, which would be me, shows up with the elders. And then I say, let's do this. And they say, put your head back on straight. That's not a good idea. Those kind of things. But I'm presenting, I'm sending, I'm pushing, we're driving, those kind of dynamics is what takes place in our elder board. And that's my job. And because my job is vision people, visionary, my job, again, I really like it. It's not the brains of the outfit, it's the vision of the outfit. All you have to do is throw, push, let's go, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. And then they make the decisions to say, okay, this is okay, this is not okay, yes, this is good, okay, we're going in the right direction, we're going in a healthy direction. So here's a picture of our elders. I don't think you guys have pictures in your notes of our elders. Do we have a picture on the screen of our elders? Oh, we didn't put a picture on the screen of our elders. We put them on the website, and the reason why we put them on the screen is because they're little tiny dots that you go, who's that? And it kind of looks like impressive us doing it, and then you can't see it. So, and then our employers as well. So when we look at our employers are the people that get paid from the church. Majority of our employers are full-time. We do have some half-time employers as well. And then me being the visionary person would be in charge of the staff. And so when I'm going towards the elder meeting, it said, this is where we want the church to go. The elders are making decisions in regards to staff. The elders are making decisions in regard to acceptance of where we're going and not acceptance of where we're going. And Pastor D plays a central role in the strength in the body of the church. A lot of the vision takes place in his office. I walk in his office and say, yeah, let's do this, and then he said, those kind of things before we even get to the elders. The best way to describe on how the church works is through money. That sounds really, really weird. There's three different cases. Actually, there's four different pieces of through money, and I'm just going to try to describe those pieces. First of all, there's a special offering. There's not a special offering. There's a general fund that takes place. And what is a general fund? General fund is just people that give money. People that tithe. That's the general. It's just to the general fund. You'll see there's special offerings, and I'll talk about that. But the general fund is the body at work when they give. We can watch a general fund to say, are we growing, are we not growing, and those kind of things. If we give you the offering, which we're going to give it to you in a second, but if we give you the offering, you can see, yes, we're growing, we're not growing, just in regards to finances in those things, but kind of see where we're at. This is where we're at through the years, 2017, 2018, 2019, 20, 21, 22, and then 23. We haven't completed 23 yet, and we're not projected. You will see, and I'm just going to have to say this, but you will see that our income giving in 2022 was extreme. When I see that, I'm like, oh my goodness, how are we going to be there next year? Those kind of things. We do want to see, are we growing through that? So I do want to make the statement that there was $1 million check that came in last year that was given to us. If you look at that graph, you take $1 million off, you'll see there's a steadiness of growth that is still taking place, but that's why it's that increase is there. I mean, you can't hide it when somebody writes a check like that, and that is what took place. Our progression towards hopefully next year would be about $1.5 million, which is the functionality of our body. I mean, that's going to be the staff salaries. It's going to be the functionality of the entire buildings in the process. That's not the construction of new buildings. That's keeping the buildings up. That's going to rest a heavy area in ministries as well. A lot of money goes towards ministries beyond the Homeland Missions Fund and those things. But you can see that we are at an area that is growing. The next piece of finance we want to talk about is the special offerings, and again, there's 3 of them. And I want to start off talking about the facilities special offering. This takes place in June. I'll just give you the whole year. Facilities takes place in June. Homeland Missions takes place in October, which will be coming up. And then missions takes place the 1st of February. Those are special offerings. Now, when you take those offerings, they go specifically for what we were telling them to go for. In other words, this last year, we gave a whole list of different things that we said, we are doing a special offering, and as a result of doing this special offering, this is what it's going for. 2022, our special offering at the special offering in our facility special offering was $161,000. Last year, we sold, this is what it's going for. We said stage 1 in a parking lot, and we want to show you the pictures of those things to see where we're at. Stage 1 in the parking lot was to put gravel in there. We can't do too much to our parking lot until we have a permit. So this is 2022. We did not have a permit. We weren't even applying for a permit. We were thinking about applying for a permit next year, but we just wanted to get gravel in our parking lot so people can park there, and that cost $13,589. Now, if you look really, really closely, you will see that is a 2023 picture. And the reason why is because we didn't have a 2022 picture of them dumping the gravel. So we stole one from 2023. If you're doing a lot of research, you'll see those. We just got to show them that that's what we did, and that's the amount that it cost. The next thing was the children's chapel that we said, okay, we're also going to be doing the children's chapel. Phenomenal chapel was put together. There's the price of the children's chapel that was spent during that offering, $73,465. A lot of that was volunteer labor and those things, but in regards to putting it all together, that's what it costs. It's done right. In other words, the heating, the ducting, all those things. Look at it. This is your facility. Go look at it. It's absolutely amazing. A conference room took place as well. Whenever we did a staff meeting or anything, or even a board meeting, we didn't even have a conference room. We just kind of pulled out chairs in the old chapel, and then we talked. And so we had this one room that we said, let's build into a conference room. Men's ministry jumped on board with us to make sure that was done, and that was what was sold last year in the special offering, and it got completed at the price tag of $6,878. Painting the sanctuary, back wall, and then projectors screen. So it cost $1,217 to paint this back wall. We rented that ladder. That ladder, I think, cost $300. And we rented the lift and those kind of things. And then they put me on it because they wanted to find a new pastor, so they expected me to fall down. I didn't fall down, so we ended up making it. But that was what we sold last year, and that's what taken place. We also explained that we're going to do it for projectors. This is a projectors and also a camera system. If you look at our old system that took place last year, we would do Livestream, and it would be one camera from the top, shoot down there, and it would be from a distance. You couldn't even hardly see what's going on. So our Livestream was really ugly, just to let you know. So we said, well, let's get projectors and cameras. That projector cost $22,000. So $22,000 right there. If you want one in your house, you can go buy one in your house and put one in your house, but I guess that's just what they cost. So that's projectors and also the expenses of the cameras that took place. And that was at $56,000. We talked about signage last year in our special offering in 2022, and we got signage done. And you'll see that last year, when we were pushing this, we set our goals $25,000, and when we spent $4,500, you might say, wow, you guys got a good deal. Well, we really didn't, because that $25,000 is talking about a new sign that has not been purchased yet. So, yes, this money's been spent, but you're going to get that as well. Do you know how much those signs cost? They're about $25,000 just themselves. So just to put a sign out there that would be I don't even know what they call it. You type in the computer and it kind of works. But signage is absolutely huge. But also signage is important. So you might see that come up again in regards to, hey, we got to have a sign instead of signage. We did our signage, but we'll need to look at a sign. You heard this concept of flood barrier in 2022. The flood barrier was going to cost $40,000 to $60,000. We didn't do it, and we're not doing it, just to let you know. Well, I'm going to say we're not doing it because we have a parking lot going in, and plans changed a little bit, where we're going to take all this water and we're going to shove it this direction, but then we're going to shove it across the street to the neighbor's yard. That's all legal. We're not doing anything illegal. But by doing that, we're going to have to put a lot of trenching. It would be us paying for the trenching of the neighbor's field back there to get all that water to go out there. So if this works, then we won't need a flood barrier. And a flood barrier would go around the sanctuary right here to make sure no water comes in, because you guys remember when it flooded, the water was clear up to here because this sanctuary is too low. It is too low right here. So we either have to put a wall around it, a flood barrier around it, or we got to get the water out. So now the goal is to get the water out. So that's kind of where we're looking at. So you see that flood barrier, kind of, no, we didn't do it, we didn't spend it, and those kind of things. But who knows if it's going to come up again. So then you'll see the total come out to just about $5,000 under than what that special offering came into. 2023, there was only one cell for the special offering, and it was parking lot. that was it. We're going to do the parking lot. And there was a confidence that came out to us that said, we are doing the parking lot. Okay, we're going to have a special offering, but if we spend all the money in the special offering and the parking lot's not done, we're probably going to take a little bit of reserve, and we're going to get it done. Because we have reserve. I mean, you guys saw the chart. We're just gonna get it done. And so if you notice, when I was talking, it's like here's a special offering for the parking lot. Give what you want. If you don't give, we're still getting it done because we had the reserve. But that's where it's at, because that's consistent in our pattern. So when we're looking at that, we've been doing that parking lot. The special offering is $139,000 is what special offering was last year. Now you might be thinking, I heard a statement, Mike, that we made our goal at $170,000. It was a wrong statement. Sorry, you're working with a human. I'm apologizing. I'm not justifying that I am human. But we were talking about the money coming in. I'm like, well, where is it at? It's like, I think we're almost there. And then I said, give me the books, and then I'll tell everybody we think we're almost there. Or I did. I said, give me the books, and then I told everybody I thought it was almost there. But actually, it was right here. That is the offering that came in, $139,000. You'll see that it is lower from last year. And I do think it's kind of how we pushed it and presented it. It's like, sometimes it's like, hey, give this and this will be built. Some people go, we got to do this. We got to make this happen. It's not an issue that it's lower, but it's going to be spent. And actually, I just want you to know it's already spent. So we started the parking lot, and the parking lot is taking place to get its completion. Right now, in the parking lot, We have spent $156,950.72. That is what we have spent in the parking lot. Like I said, before June, I said we're still going, so we're going to spend more. How much is the parking lot going to cost? In the back of our mind, we're just kind of have always said about $400,000 is what we're thinking. So that is where we're at now, and we're still going to consistently move forward. I talked to Paul Reisinger, who's in charge of the parking lot, of building the parking lot, and he said, I said, give me a report of are we going to get done? He said, Mike, the rains are gonna come, and I will work as hard as I can, but rain stops concrete. So, no big deal. We're all right. We'll just patch it up. Once the rains start coming, we'll patch it up, and then we'll push into it next year. You most likely will get an advertisement, or not an advertisement, but next year's special offering would be, say, parking lot again, because we are going over those kind of things, but that's where our kind of our push is at. The vision for next year has not been put in place because we're still working on this one. But that's where we're at with our parking lot. Yes, it might not get done. If it doesn't get done, we'll get as much done as possible, and then we'll still park on it. We can park in the gravel. We can park here in those things. But we're pushing towards that direction, knowing that things might change. I wanted to talk a lot about the facilities offering, just because it's where we're at. It took place in June, and that's where they're at. I want to go a lot faster on the homeland missions, and definitely really fast on the foreign missions. And the reason why, just because of time. Homeland missions special offering was $110,000. This is a list of the areas of us funding our homeland missions offering and different things that take place. There is a board that runs that offering. So in other words, I'm not on that board. We work with leaders. Other leaders run it. Churches, the people in our church, they run that board. They're the ones that make the decision off that board of where that money is sent. It's a phenomenal board, and they're moving funding a lot of different ministries, a lot of different programs. Foreign missions offering is the other area. $160,000 came in. Again, it's another board that's inside of the church that runs it. I would give you an explanation of the dynamics of our missions, but I would just confuse you. It is massive, and it branches in a whole bunch of different directions, and as soon as it starts to go in different countries and stuff like that, you go, huh? My only thing about our missions program is it's good. It's healthy, and a lot of things are being done. Yes, you're going to get a lot of report about our missions program here coming in January before that special offering. But if I started into it, you wouldn't be able to understand it and all of it and those kind of things. The branches are Sierra Leone. The branches are the general offering. As soon as that offering comes in, it gets split in half, and I'm just giving you a taste of it. It gets split in half, 80,000 here, 80,000 here. One board takes care of this, 80,000. Another board takes care of this, 80,000. And then they work with the boards across in Sierra Leone with that board. And they also work with another organization called Women International goes in that board. It just goes. That's kind of how it goes, but we're the center of that, and it's going really well. Just kind of where we're going in regards to preaching, 2022, where we have been. We went through the book of Judges. I'm excited about where we're preaching. That's my job. So we're going to go all the way to 2024. I'm set. We're on a roll. We're not getting out of the Old Testament. I'm trying to get out of the Old Testament, but it's good. We started with Judges, which I didn't know how that was going to go. It put us into Ruth, which I knew it put into Ruth, but then Ruth put us into 1 Samuel. Talk about the story of Samuel, and Samuel's now put us into Saul, and you can't do Saul without David because Saul's all about David, and then we got to spend four sessions on David. So these are the series that are taking place, and this is a rough timeline, means don't hold it against me. In other words, this series of Saul is going to start. We're looking at probably about 5-6 weeks of Saul, and then we'll start moving into David. That's going to take a year. You guys are thinking, a year? Oh, it's good. You can't. You got to slow down during David. And then we're going into 2024. It starts September 2024. I don't think we're going to be out of David in 2024. And if we still are in it in 2025, I apologize. But it's really good. And then after 2024, we we got to do Solomon, because Solomon's going to open up the book of Proverbs, and then you got to do Proverbs, and Solomon's also going to open up the book of Ecclesiastes. Oh, I'd love to preach on Ecclesiastes. So we'll see where we go. But there's the next 3 years. Ministry-based goals. When we talk about our mission statement, all of our ministries, because what we're going to do is we're going to do our 5 days of prayer, and it's all going to be about ministries. We want to talk about our ministry-based goals. What do we look like as a church? Because we want you to know the church and what it looks like. Our base goal for our services, and this is what you saw me mention this morning. We were once dead, but now we're alive. We were once lost, but now we're found. We want our services, and this is a challenge to everybody, we want our services alive. I mean, what I mean by alive is the world's not, and we should be, because of the gospel that we have. Somebody, when I was walking out, said, I'm really sorry you didn't go hiking. And I said, yeah, I know, it's kind of a bum deal. He goes, but you have Jesus, so who gives a rip if you get to go hiking or not? I'm like, you're right. That's it. I mean, that's the richness of what we have. So our services, we want them to be alive. A base goal for individuals, we want it to be aggressive. We want our church to be aggressive. We have one aggressive church. How many ministries am I in charge of? 2, 3 maybe. I mean, and then how many ministries out there? 1,000 ministries out there. They're all run by aggressive people. We want our base goals for ministries to be effective. We want to make sure they're effective. Base goals for a community to be touched. Base goals for ministerial association to be united. That is our connection with the different churches that are in there. So those kind of our base goals. I want to move to how to get involved. I kind of explained already a bit about how we function. Yes, we don't have membership, and the reason why we don't have membership is because we just figure if you come 3 times, you're a member of Jefferson Baptist Church, and we want to put you to work. I mean, it's worked. It's worked in the past. Also, if you come, we actually want to tell you to leave. What do you mean tell you to leave? Well, we plant churches. We want you to go to Agape. We want you to go different. When you come here, we want to send you out. Well, if you come here, we want to send you out. How are we going to do membership? I mean, that's not a very good management strategy. And we don't want a management strategy. We want a strategy that's going to encompass the kingdom of God, which is all over the world, not just Jefferson Baptist Church. And that's why we don't do members. If you come 3 times, we're thinking you're members. We're ready to go, ready to work in those kind of things. Visionary leaders and financially supported boards. Unity first, work second. I just want to say that we're all after unity. It's like the driving force. Because if you don't have unity, you don't have ministry. If you don't have ministry, you don't have a church. So as soon as unity starts to crumble, our entire church actually starts to crumble. So my job and Pastor D's job is focused on unity. That's probably a large load of our work. Everybody unified? Everybody unified? Who's unified? Who's not unified? Okay, bring them into the office. Okay, let's get unified. That's what's taking place all the way through. And to adjust things to make sure that we're all unified, walking as one body as we do ministry. How do we get involved? There's 3 different areas, just like talk about. There's a base ministry for everyone to get involved. So the base ministry is our services. That's the first step to get involved. Somebody wants to get involved and doesn't come to services, it's going to be really hard to get involved. I mean, it's not. This is the driving force of the church during the service. We just had a staff meeting, and when we talked in the staff meeting, we said services on Saturday night and the services on Sunday morning is when we all get together to touch each other and to worship God, to see each other, to worship God, to walk together and worship God. Our services are a base part of our church. Coming on a consistent basis will get you involved. This one usually goes way down in a lot of churches, but it's way up at the top at ours, and it's prayer. And the reason why is because, hey, I'm brand new, and you want me to do what? You want me to go to a prayer meeting, and I'm brand new? And you're going to look at me and say, would the new people please stand up and lead us in prayer before we start? I mean, there's so much fear that goes with that. But Jefferson Baptist Church doesn't work that way. We just expect that if you come one time that you're ready to go to prayer. And you might be thinking, well, do I have to say anything? The answer is no. You don't have to say anything. We want you to be with people that are praying, because you being with people carries the power of the people that carries the power of the body in the unit that is praying. So it's as relaxed as could be. People come in, people come out. That's why we say, and we're confident, say, go to a prayer meeting. We're not going to put anybody on the spot. The whole thing is run. The whole thing is complete. The whole thing is going to move forward, and we want you to be a part of this movement that is moving forward. So you're brand new. Yeah, come to prayer. You want to get to know people? You will know the core of Jefferson Baptist Church if you go to prayer. You will not see the core anywhere else. You won't see the core in the services. You won't see the core in the ministries. You will not see the core of Jefferson. You want to see the core and why Jefferson Baptist Church exists and why it's moving? Everything's in the prayer. If you want to meet the core, go into prayer. You will, if you don't know anybody walking in the door, whoever's leading prayer must introduce himself, because he's going to put your name down. so if I'm leading prayer, I have to introduce myself. I'm sorry, I don't know your name. And you probably say, I've been going for the last 10 years. I'm just kidding. But that's where you get to know the functionality of the body. And that's where you get to actually even build the relationships in the body. It builds all the unity. Our prayer builds all the unity. Men's and women's breakfast, these are just really fast, things. Jump on board, men's breakfast, women's breakfast. Small groups is a step up, oh boy, I'm going to be in a small group, and that's a little bit more intimidating, but we're pushing everybody towards it. They're good if you step into them in those things. But you're going to see when we're doing prayer for all these small groups and those things, you'll see the dynamic of everything that's taking place. Dinner's for Eight, it's another ministry that we're doing that's just trying to get everybody involved. We're just expecting everybody to do this, expecting everybody to be a part of this. Outreach ministries, and those outreach ministries is, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do a sportsman show. And we want you to show up at the sportsman show. It's just an outreach ministry that people are walking the door and say, whoa, Jefferson Baptist Church is promoting this, is pushing this. We do movie night. Hey, come watch a movie. There's not a sermon. There's a movie. And the movie takes place right here. And it's a Christian movie. And you just come in your fellowship. They're just outreach ministries to get people to walk in the door. Retreats, campouts, recreational activities. These are a great place for you to get involved to meet people. We go to the marriage retreat every year. 3 different weekends of the year. It's a great place to get to know people, a great place to get to know, great place to get to know people. Recreational activities, we got softball games. We got all these things going on. All those are going to be announced in the prayer meeting, or in the prayer, 5 days of prayer this next week. Then we move to the next base, which would be a service ministries. And this is kind of stepping up another area to get involved. If you want to get involved, children's ministry, we're going to do a criminal background check on you. That's intimidating. You can go to prayer without a criminal background check, but I'm sorry, we're moving into children's ministries. This is kind of another step to get involved, but it is a step to get involved. And we love you. Everybody's done it. In fact, they handed one on my desk this last week, and it says, your criminal background check is outdated. You need to fill it out. And if I didn't fill it out, I'd get in trouble, because I have to make sure I'm not a criminal in the last 3 years. It was just what happens. And we want to do that for our children, because we want that ministry completely protected. And also, you will see we're glad that you signed up, and we'll put you in this area. You'll kind of see kind of a movement of more protection, because it's kind of a step further. But it's a good step further, because we need the workers, but it's kind of a step up rather than, hey, I'm just going to come and those kind of things, a step, because it's a huge responsibility. You go into Awanas, yes, we need workers in Awanas. What are they going to do? They'll slap it down a criminal background check. When we work with kids, that's what happens. Do it. Take the criminal background, because you won't believe how blessed you'll be walking out of our Awana program. Our Awana program has exploded with a number of people. Therefore, we need to explode with the number of workers. Get involved. That's the push. Get involved. Don't be intimidated by, okay, we need to make sure we're protecting it. It's common sense, and then we'll do common sense to protect. But it is a step up. Men's camps, JBC schools. Again, you're working with people. Outreach ministries, service ministries. Those are ministries where people are leading these ministries. And it's more of a, I've been here for a little longer, and I've moved into it. I've grown into it, because all these ministries are kind of, I've grown into those pieces of it. Leadership ministries. When it comes to a leadership ministry, somebody comes, hey, I want to do something, Jefferson Baptist Church. The first thing that comes up, have you been through Pastor D's leadership class? Pastor D's leadership class says this is what we're all about. This is what the church is all about. It's 1 year long, and we just encourage people, do Pastor D's leadership class. That's going to send you forward into the thicker pieces of ministry at Jefferson Baptist Church. So there is a males and there's also a females. So there's two that are taking place. If you're thinking, you know what, I want to get involved in this church. That's the place to start. That's where a lot of the meat is at. Working next to leaders, of course, people are working next to the things that are functioning. You got the men's ministry. The men's ministry has a team. That team keeps growing and growing and growing and growing. You're working with leaders, and those people are working with leaders are moving then to the top of leadership. And it's just good things that are taking place there. Work with leaders, fill in leadership gaps, fill in teaching gaps. I've had somebody that I would say it was a phenomenal teacher. We know he's a phenomenal teacher. He came from another church, and the guy has a reputation, and a reputation of being a phenomenal teacher. And you're like, hey, could I teach a discipleship group? Could I teach a discipleship class? And we know who he is, so we said, yeah, sure. How long has he been here? It's like, well, I've been here for 2 months. We know him. We know it's like, yes, we've taken, and he's been teaching for years now. And it's been absolutely phenomenal. Come and just say, hey, I want to teach a discipleship class. Let's talk to us. Work with us. We're looking for teachers. Right now, there actually is an array of teachers that are coming, which is absolutely phenomenal. In fact, too many. They keep on pushing me out. I haven't taught for 2 years now because there's so many teachers that are walking in. But we are supposed to build disciples, and the center of being disciples is taking the Word of God and presenting it. That's what it is. And the crazy thing about teaching is that nobody receives more from my sermon than I do because I have to do it all week. And as I do it all week, you only get it for 30 minutes, but I'm convicted on everything that I am reading because I have to teach it. Nobody remembers it more than I do. I mean, I know exactly where we've been. I know exactly what's going on and all the stories I put back there because I taught it. Even when you teach it, it comes even more alive to you. So we want you to teach. We want you to have an avenue to teach. And then start your own ministry. We're pushing people to start their own ministries in those things. So we showed you the logistics. I said there was not going to be any questions, but we have some time for questions. Rich is very flexible with me. He's our new executive pastor that was hired in when did I hire you? March? You hired in March. When did we hire you? We hired in March. So he wrote, he's writing some of the church family letters, and so that's who it is. So if you have any questions, feel free to just ask anything you would like, and he'll give you the microphone. It's easier to ask a theology question than a business question. Well, I'm hoping I did a good job of you guys understanding the church. I went fast because I didn't think that I was going to get done. Maybe I should explain the branches of ministry. You guys like, yeah, we're done. The business meeting, it's over. We're flat. It's good. Welcome to Jefferson Baptist Church business meeting. You're dismissed. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for coming. No, I got a question. Scott, whoa. Oh, thanks for dismissing you. And I stopped you. You're dismissed. You're welcome. Thanks, Scott.
I'm trading my sorrows, and I'm trading my shame. Now I'm laying them down for the joy of the Lord. Now I'm trading my sin.